Hello everybody, here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Kirby 64. In that previous episode, we finished off Aquastar, yay! And in today's video we're going through Neostar, which means we get to meet one of the best characters in Ruby, woohoo! So, as we go across this area, I gotta say, this has been kind of an interesting world to record. And by interesting, I mean annoying. Because, my goodness, the Let's Play curse has been affecting this world, and it's not been the best experience ever. So, like, I got a couple of game overs, and there was, like, the worst luck in the world when it came to trying to get some of these crystal shards and things like that. So, yay, we get to re-record stuff. And on my limited free time, with having a full-time job and all, that means that it's gonna be ever so much more fun. Yeah, let's do this. But no more complaining, because we're going through this level, and I actually kind of like this level. So, they definitely are going to be ramping up the difficulty going forward, because, yeah, this area is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to deal with. Luckily, this first level is not going to need any specific combinations of crystal shards for us to deal with. But we want to watch out for the bad guys, because they are not going to be the most pleasant things to deal with. So, this right here, this is where we're going to get the first crystal shard. It's going to be underneath that grass trap thingy. Watch out for the ones that have food on them, because more often than not, those ones are definitely going to have spikes. Most of them have spikes, but definitely those ones in particular. Next crystal shard is going to be located down here, and now we can go up here and climb up the vine. That's quite vine with me. That was a funny joke, and you know it. Set your feelings, you know it to be true. Watch out for that guy right there, because he has like some of the most evil enemy placement in the entire game. Like, he consistently has like really annoying enemy placement. Because like, he always throws the arrows when he's just barely off screen, so you usually have a hard time knowing he's going to be there unless you already know. So, not going to be the most pleasant experience in the world, but what is going to be the most pleasant experience in the world, blah. Yeah, most pleasant experience in the world is going to be able to talk straight, because I have trouble speaking sometimes. Ain't that fun? But we're going to have the greatest day ever going through this level. It's going to be the greatest experience in the world. It's going to be the best day ever. Mr. Sun came up and he smiled at me. He said it's going to be a good one, just wait and see. Jumped out of bed, and I ran outside, feeling so extra-extratified. It's the best day ever. Alright, so, fun story. There's this one lady I work with who, the other day, she was assigned to work at ODV for a little while. That's basically like the carts that you'll see at the front of the park that sell like balloons and things like that. I don't actually know what they sell. It's like those regular carts you'll see up on the streets and things like that. So like occasionally we'll get reassigned to another location if somewhere else in the park is shorthanded and things like that. One of the most common examples would be like Talking Bay 7, which is one of the restaurants at Galaxy's Edge. So like, the lady went over there, and then she came back over to Galaxy's Edge after her shift was over, talking about how, like, she had the best day ever, because, like, everything was, like, themed for Mickey Mouse and things like that, and she sounded really genuinely happy about that, and this is really fun to see, because, like, the entire time she was going like that, it was making me think of that scene from SpongeBob, when he was singing about the best day ever. And that song usually goes in my head whenever I'm having a pretty great day, so that's pretty fun. Also, evil enemy placement right there. This game's kind of full of an evil enemy placement, isn't it? So watch out for these platformers, because the ones that are going to be the platforms that are going to have the logs and the vines, those ones should be okay. But there's going to be one that we'll be seeing just a little bit later that's not going to be okay. It's going to be the opposite of okay. It's going to be KO. That is the KO platform. That is the one that will fall when you barely touch it. Like, if you look at it funny, it's going to fall. If you breathe on it, it's going to fall. If you sneeze on it, it's going to fall. You get the point right now. Right here, we're gonna get a lollipop! Yay! Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. So I don't know how many other people think about this, but whenever I hear that song now, I can't help but think of that one game on the Xbox 360 that was Lollipop Chainsaw. That's probably not the best thing to talk about during a Kirby game, but like honestly, I really liked that game. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure game of mine because like you gotta play as like a cheerleader who hunted zombies and things like that, and it was honestly kind of epic. Alright, so next level is gonna be this one. So this level... Ah! It's over here, it's over here, it's over here. Mine. I was looking at my notes real quick and I wasn't paying attention to the game. Alright, so yeah, this one we're going to need a specific power-up to get everything in this level. More specifically the third crystal shard, which we might not be able to get this first run. Because I don't think all the abilities we'll need for it are going to be easily accessible for us right now. So we'll definitely want to be careful with this. We might have to go through this level a second time. So for this first area, though, with the minecart, I gotta say, I really like this area. But one thing I gotta say you want to be careful with is that crystal shard. You want to remember to try and be on the top of the minecart area so that we can get it, okay? But another thing I want to talk about real quick is something kind of stupid. So, I don't know if we'll have it play during this part, but there's this one game on the PlayStation called Brave Fencer Musashi that has like some auto-run segments where you're running towards the camera. So whenever there's an obstacle that's going to be appearing off screen, the main character will have like a little jump warning and you'll be like, whoa, jump! So like, that's something that I think about every now and then whenever I see something like that, where it's like an auto-scroll area that we have to jump across and things like that. I don't know how many people are aware of that game. I don't know if it's like obscure or anything like that. I don't see a lot of people talk about it that much though. I've never actually owned the game myself, but I played it on a PlayStation demo disc when I was a kid. I don't think I've ever actually finished it. I probably could nowadays if I played it nowadays, but like, I never finished that game because I remember it being pretty difficult. But it might be one of those things where like I was just super terrible at video games when I was a children. That is great grammar there, Lady Gear to you. And Lady Gear to you, talking about myself in third person. Owie! That hurts. Now we can get the 1-up and continue on our merry way through our path of glory. Watch out for those eyeball thwomps, because they're not going to be the most pleasant experience in the world. Let's continue onwards. And also I gotta say, I apologize for your background noise, because, like, the Wii U is kind of loud right now. I don't know why the console itself is pretty loud, but it's a thing that's been happening a lot lately. I think it might be a little bit dusty, so I might have to go clean it and things like that. That kind of makes me happy, the fact that pretty soon I'm not gonna have to record a Wii U game for a little while. There is something later this year that I will be recording off the Wii U, but I think there might be like at least one project between this one and that one, so it really depends on what I feel like playing later this year. So I believe this is the area that would have the third crystal shard in it, but we don't have access to the abilities and things like that, so actually, let's double check. Sorry for the immersion breaking, but yep, never mind. I thought this guy was going to give us one of the abilities we'd need for it, but no, we're going to need a stone bomb for the final crystal shard, which we unfortunately don't have access to. We do have access to some cake right there, and thankfully, unlike some other games, that one is not a lie. And, okay, I want to talk about that real quick, because frickin' Portal is going to be coming to Switch. That makes me so happy. I love Portal, and, like, it's one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. Probably, honestly, like, my absolute favorite puzzle game of all time. Like, probably tied with Captain Toad, but I love Portal, and the fact that it's going to be coming to Switch pretty soon just makes me so happy. Because I love that game so much, and the fact that it's going to be coming to Switch means, like, I can replay it a lot more often, and I'm just so excited for it. And, like, another thing about that, too, is that it's kind of going to make a Portal 2 Let's Play a little bit more possible now, because, like, before, I did have it on a console I could record, but I didn't bring my Xbox 360 with me when I moved, so, like, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to record it for a little while, but now that it's coming to Switch, it's possible, and it makes me so happy. One thing I really hope they do with that game is that there are these, like, custom maps you can make in the game, and I really, really hope that there's, like, some kind of cross-platform play compatibility with that, because there's a lot of them that were made for PC, and I'd love to be able to play through those on the Switch, but I don't know if that's going to be something they're going to go with. And the funny thing is, with Steam working on the Steam Deck now, this is technically going to be like one of the first consoles ever that's going to have at least one game from each competing hardware company. Because technically with the Steam Deck, Valve is going to now become like a hardware competitor to Nintendo, even if it's not going to be like a direct one. But with games like Banjo-Kazooie and Cuphead from Microsoft, that one baseball game from PlayStation, and now Portal, like, that's honestly kind of mind-blowing to think about. And now we're taking care of all that. Let's see if we can do the timing perfectly. That wasn't what I was aiming for, but at least we got something. So, just like before, we're going to go back to that level a little bit later in the video to go conquer our destiny. And I'm just going to double check my notes real quick before we start this next one to make sure we don't need any stupid combination powers. Oh, we do, but luckily for us, this first enemy right here is going to give us exactly what we need. Yeah, that's some pretty solid game design right there, if I do say so myself. I don't know why I'm saying so myself, because I didn't design this game. It would have honestly been kind of impressive if I did design this game, because, when did it come out? 2000, 2001, sometime around there. I was busy being 4. I don't remember exactly what year this game came out in, but I was busy being a children. Probably going to be what the episode name is going to be called, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, we're going over here, and I gotta say, we're off to a pretty good start with this world compared to the previous one. Okay, for this right here, we're going to need the needle ability to get this crystal shard. So that's something that's going to be definitely useful. But the next crystal shard, oh boy, people who play this game already should know how much fun this next one can be. It's going to be the most pleasant experience in the world, and nothing else will ever compare. It is just the greatest thing ever. So now we're going over this way, and I thought the crystal shard was going to be close by, but no, there's still another segment to go through. We don't need another... We don't need the deal for the other crystal shards, so what does this give us? Ah, that's a drill. That's cool. That is really cool. I like this one. Alright. Oh, you can also fire off as a projectile. Oh, I like this one. This makes the likes of me very happy. Because I'm happy, and now my Wii U is silent all of a sudden, and it's making me a little bit concerned. Alright. It just seems like the Wii U can't win, no matter what noise it's making. It's weird, because, like, going from, like, the Switch, or even, like, the PlayStation 4, those consoles are pretty quiet. So going back to this one, they can be a little bit on the louder side. It's a little bit on the unusual experience. So let's continue on through this way. We're getting pretty close to our destination. It's going to be our final destination, if you will. Heh, 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 heh. That is a humorous joke that I made up myself, and it's totally original. Do not steal. We don't need the rest. We don't need that copyability for anything in the future, so we should be okay. Owie! Can you stop hurting me? It's really painful. Alright, then, okay. Remember this pattern. Remember this pattern, and remember it well. Because, boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is certainly going to be a fun experience. Alright, so remember that pattern, because basically what we want to do, you want to break up these blocks to recreate that pattern. So we got a power cell, so we're going to make something along these lines. I'm really hoping we do this correctly, because I kind of don't want to have to go through this again. I think we might have already messed up, but we'll keep trying, man. Woo, we did it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, like I said a moment ago, we're going to go through this a couple more times at some point during the video to demonstrate the alternate ways you can complete that puzzle. I believe there are two other ones. There's a top hat and there's a pizza. I got the pizza one before, and I gotta say, I don't remember exactly what the combination was to figure that one out. And it took a long time to find a video walkthrough that had the combination right. So, yeah, that wasn't a very pleasant experience at all. But that's what this Let's Play is for, so people never have to go through that horrible stuff again. And speaking of horrible stuff, this is a terrible power-up to have in this area, because we're going to be jumping around a lot, so I don't want something that can make me fall down instantaneously. Also, I found out the other day that those enemies right there with the maracas, they're called cha-chas, and I don't know, I like that. I like that name. It's a pretty fun one. So let's continue this area, and let's go over here and eat some cake. I like cake, especially when it's not a lie. And I already made that joke already, and that caused me to go into a big Portal tangent, because I'm super excited that Portal's gonna be going to Nintendo Switch. Yeah, we did the thingy, and it was cool. Owie. I tried sounding cool right there, but then I said owie, and that removed any kind of coolness I may have had in my voice. So this right here, this is a really fun detail. I love how these platforms spell out Kirby. It's such a fun little detail. I remember my first playthrough, I was expecting it to say 64 afterwards, but that didn't happen. But it didn't need to happen. What? We were right there! How did you miss? It was 3 feet in front of you! Ugh. Alright, well, time to go back into the previous level so we can get the power-up needed for the final level. Crystal Shard thingy, yeah! I have been here for 20 minutes trying to get back to this spot because I had 1 HP left after getting that stupid power-up. I'm going to set a restore point in the middle of recording because I don't have to go through all that crap again. And because what we need is dynamite. This thing has a huge hitbox. It's basically a screen nuke that can hit you too. I don't know how far away you have to be for it to be effective, but it is pretty far. And we finally got the Crystal Shard. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but we did it. And now we're dead. But the important thing is we got the Crystal Shard. We don't need that super power up anymore, but we did it. We did it, and we never have to do it again. Unless we do the versus this game, which seems to be the running trend whenever I say something like that. This game would actually be great versus. But anyway, that's not the point now. Because we finally got the thingy, and now we can destroy these stupid jelly blobs of evilness. We did it. We can go on through and finish the stupid... Where the hell was this tomato when we needed it? Like, I swear, the beginning of this level does not have, like, any health or anything like that. There's, like, no food at the beginning when we actually need it. Here, we don't really need that much because everything here instantly kills you anyway. So, like, what's the point of the food in this area? Luckily, there's a 1-up. We kind of don't need it because we already have a lot of lives right now, but knowing my luck with this game, we're going to need as many of these as we possibly can get. Let's move onwards. Let's continue onwards. Let's continue Toy Story. Let's continue Monsters Inc. Let's continue fighting Nemo. Let's get the 1-up we don't need. That we weren't even able to get anyway because it's telling me that is stupid. But we did it. That's all that matters. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Kirby 64. And until next time, I need a gator to you. Oh yeah! Woo!